What's up YouTube, AM Figures here. Today I'm bringing you another review. Today it is in the form of Android 21 from SH Figuarts and from the game Dragon Ball Fighters. So I have opened this box, but I barely really messed around with her. Like, the plastic is still on her and everything. I just wanted to get a closer look at her out of the box. So yeah, we'll start looking at her in the box, and then I'll break her out of there. So we'll just do a quick spin around of the box as usual. Here's the front. Here's the side. And the other side. Here's the top. Here's the bottom. And then there is the back. All these poses for her and whatnot. Now, when I did open it up, I noticed something that is a little disappointing, for me at least. But I'll get into that when I open it up. Just give me a few moments and I will be right back. Alrighty, so here we are. The box has been opened, and this is everything she comes with. Now, actually, now that I think about it, there are two things that I'm slightly disappointed with. I'm not sure if you guys can see it right now, or if you guys would even feel the same way. But for me, one big thing, she does not come with fists. She doesn't. And I understand, like, most of the fighting that's shown and stuff. Like, actually, this is the closest thing to a fist that we get. Like, yeah, a lot of the fighting is, like, you know, turning people into candy and shit like that. Yeah. Most of her fighting seems to be using, like, key attacks and stuff, but it's still always nice to have a pair of fists. But it's something, it's something I can get past. It's whatever. Another thing, she does not have a face that is looking straight. They're all glancing to the side, or like this one, I guess you could say it's looking straight, but this is more like glancing downwards and yelling. She doesn't have a face where she's looking straight ahead, which is kind of irritating to me, because that's a big thing for me. I like to display figures like that. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure I'll get over it. It's whatever. It's like the fist. It's like, it'd be nice to have, but whatever. But yeah, the reason why I'm realizing this stuff now is because I was actually thinking about not getting this figure. So I never really watched any reviews on her or anything like that. I am glad I got her, even with those problems that I listed, because she is a pretty cool looking figure. I do like it. She'll look nice on the shelf. But yeah, so let me set the camera down real quick, and then I'll get into articulation. Well, real quick, let me get a closer look of all the accessories, just in case you guys missed any. This is everything she comes with. Her little donut right there, that's actually pretty cool. I like that. But yeah, that's pretty much that. So let me set the camera down, and I will get her out of the plastic and into the articulation phase of the review. There we go. And I'll put her tail on as well. We are back. So I'll do a quick 360 spin of the figure so you guys can get a nice view of it. I I was hoping that would be a good way to hold her and spin, but it's not. So here we go. I gotta say, I do like the figure. I like the hair. I like everything that was put into it. It looks good. The hair is the biggest thing that stands out to me because it's the first time that we've gotten a hair like this. So it's a completely new hair sculpt and everything, and it's pretty cool. It's articulated as well. Excuse me, sorry. As you can see, it goes up about that far, and you can pivot it a bit as well. So that's pretty nice. I like that. Now to swap the head, it's the same as pretty much anything else. As you can see, the face actually popped off with it, so that helps. But yeah, you just pop the front of her bangs off, and then take the face off. So that's pretty basic for SH Figuarts. But yeah, so let's get into articulation. So we went over the hair, so now we'll go to the head. So she can look down about that far, pretty good. And because this hair is articulated, it shouldn't hinder her ability to look up. The hair actually doesn't hinder it. I think it's the way that the figure's made. Sorry to take her off screen for a second. I just had to look at something closer. But yeah, she can look up about that far. It's not really the hair that gets in the way. It's the way that the neck is. First of all, the neck is not a separate piece, I don't believe. The neck isn't articulated. At least from what I can tell, because it's not moving. And so like the way that joint is back here, it kind of prevents her from looking up any further. Excuse me, gosh. It's something I can get over. It's whatever. I probably won't have her looking up anyways. But that is something that they may want to improve on in the future. Is not having that stuff get in the way of articulation. But anyways, sorry for clearing my throat so much. I got something stuck in there. I don't know what it is. There's a frog in my throat. But anyways, onto the shoulder articulation now. She can lift her arms up pretty high. I like that. That's pretty good. And of course, spin all the way around. And her elbows are... Sorry again to pull her off screen. I just have to check. These elbows are single jointed, but they get a really nice range of motion. Can go pretty much like with the forearm touching the bicep. That's actually pretty good. I think these are Figma style joints. That's kind of what they look like. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but I haven't really messed around with a Figma in a while. But they look like the Figma style joints, which is pretty good. The only downside is they do stick out like this, which it doesn't bother me, but I can understand why it would bother some people, like this joint just sticking out like that. I don't mind it because it doesn't really, I just don't mind it, but also because it allows for a lot better articulation in the arms rather than just like with Marvel Legends and their single joints, a pretty terrible articulation with the single jointed elbows. But this kind of single jointed elbow, it works well in my opinion. I mean, just look at that. That's pretty good. Like, that's better than most double jointed figures. Yeah, so that's that for the arms. And her hands, the same as any other SH Figuarts. Move up, down, around, all the good stuff. But yeah, as for ab crunch, let's see. Oh, sorry again to pull her off screen. There's just something I had to look at. Okay, I just wanted to make sure, because it seemed as though her upper half didn't bend separately from her lower, like from her abdomen, but it does. It does. This is about as far down as I can get her to go, which is not the best, but it's tolerable for me. And of course she can like destroy her back, but she can't bend over forwards. I don't know why that's such an issue, but whatever. I'll probably have her in a more static pose rather than something like crazy like that. So that's why this stuff doesn't really bother me too much, although I do understand why it bothers others. I totally get it. It's definitely a bit of an issue that shouldn't be in the figure, but all good with me. Now moving on, we will get into, okay, actually right here, this piece is actually separate. This piece right here. Not entirely sure why. I think because her abdomen piece is also articulated, but I'm not really sure why this would need to be separate for that. It's whatever, it doesn't really matter all that much, just something that I noticed. But yeah, now into the legs for articulation. She can kick up pretty far. I don't know if you guys can see that. And she can kick back, let's move her tail, kick back pretty far as well, really far. Push that back in. And her knees are double jointed, but they don't come up that high, as you can see. That's just because of how baggy her pants are. So that's, you know, excusable in my opinion. Like I said, I'm gonna have her in a more static pose anyways, so I don't really need these crazy poses out of her. That's just me though. Yeah, now into her feet. So she does have the heels here, which probably going to be a pain to pose. I hope not, but you never know. And her feet bend down really far, pretty good. Good articulation there. And up, not very far, just about that far. And the one thing she does have though, she does have toe articulation, so that is good. And she also does have an ankle pivot, as you can see there. So that's pretty good. And the last part for articulation is the tail. So it's broken up sorry again to pull her off screen, I just have to look at things closer. The way I'm shooting this review, to look at something closer, I gotta pull it off screen. But it's broken in one place. I thought it was in two places, but it's just cut off in like the midsection, I guess, right here. So that allows for some good articulation, just some spinning, some nice little maneuvering. And then I guess it is cut here as well, because that's where the joint goes. Let's get the hair out of the way. The joint is there, so you can, twist it up or twist it around, down, all the works for a tail. It's a pretty good tail in my opinion. It operates about the same as any other one that they've introduced to us. Definitely most similar to Frieza's. Yeah, I think overall it's a pretty good figure. Sorry, there we go. I don't have a stand at the moment, so I can't get her perfectly balanced, so this will just have to do. Yeah. So, I mean, she's a pretty good figure. I like it, because I really like Dragon Ball FighterZ. I do. I'm not the best at it, in the slightest, but I enjoy the game, and I enjoy her character. I also like the fact that it's something new. Like, this is a completely new mold that we got. So it's something different. It's something new, and I like it. That being said, I would only really recommend buying her if for the same reasons that I did. If you feel the same way that I did, then yeah. Otherwise, of course, I wouldn't necessarily recommend her, just because of the limitations that I showed and the fact that she doesn't include fists or a face that is looking straight on. you know, issues like that and stuff, the hindered articulation here and in the neck a bit, looking up. I mean, I think she's a really cool figure, so I'd recommend it for people who feel the same, for people who like fighters, and for people who want something new. But yeah, that's just, you know, that's my opinion. And I hope it helped. I hope this review helps you guys decide whether or not you want to pick her up. Yeah. So, with all that being said, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to leave a like, leave a comment. If you didn't enjoy, feel free to leave a dislike. But I ask, if you do leave a dislike, please leave a comment telling me how I can improve. And if you really liked it, you can hit that subscribe button down below and the little bell next to it so you're notified whenever I upload. And you can be the first to see new videos like this. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. So I hope you guys are having a great day, night, afternoon, evening, whatever it may be, wherever you are in the world. And I hope you have, I already said that. I will see you all in the next video. Peace.